All right, let's dive into Suits. This one is interesting. We've got like YouTube best of videos and stuff on IMDb, and even a Time magazine article. I think it even compares the show to Mad Men.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a lot. And that's kind of why I'm excited about this. Like, we're going to look at not just like what happens in Suits, but like why does this show just grab people?
I know. It's so interesting, isn't it?
I
mean, the premise is kind of ridiculous when you think about it. Like this college dropout, Mike Ross, he's faking his way through this super high-powered law firm, working alongside, the one and only Harvey Specter.
Sorry.
But it's a global phenomenon. Like this show, years after it ended, people are still obsessed with it. It's breaking streaming records and stuff. So, I mean, what is it? What makes it so addictive? What's the secret ingredient?
Okay, so let's like break this down. So we got Harvey Specter, right? He is the legal rock star. Super confident, always seems to have some kind of like winning strategy. And then there's Mike Ross, who like the guy's got a photographic memory, crazy smart, but wouldn't know a law book, if it hit him in the face.
Right. And then of course you've got Donna Paulson, Harvey's, executive assistant. But come on, she's so much more than that.
Oh, yeah.
And this is where I think that Time article is interesting, because they call it Suits, like the ultimate ludicrous procedural.
Yeah.
So on the surface, high stakes, legal drama, all that. But underneath, there's this predictable rhythm to it.
Yeah.
Like it's almost comforting. Like, how sometimes you just want to put on that cozy sweater?
Mm-hmm. Totally.
And that's what Suits is like. And I actually think that might be a big reason why it's become so popular again.
It's true. It's true. And speaking of comforting, I think the writing and the characters, they're just fun. Like there's this one scene I think where Harvey tells Mike, "Get your tux on, we've got a situation." And Mike's like, "A situation that needs a tux." Where are we going? Atlantic City? You just get this playful energy, this banter.
Yeah, they're so good together. And while we're talking about things that are good, we got to talk about Donna.
Oh, we got to talk about Donna.
I mean, like, there's a reason why there are YouTube videos dedicated to Donna, like with titles like "Her name is Donna Paulson."
Oh, I've seen those.
Like, she is a fan favorite, and that says something. She's not just an assistant. She's not just getting coffee.
No.
She's like Harvey's, I don't know, like his secret weapon.
Right, his confidant.
She understands him. She can read people like nobody's business.
It's like she has a sixth sense, Like there's this one scene I think where she spots this like tiny little detail on a client's tie.
Oh yeah.
And she just knows they're lying.
Yeah, it's amazing. And you can't forget the whole the whole tension, the will they, won't they thing between her and Harvey.
Oh, yeah.
It keeps you guessing. It keeps you coming back for more.
Takes you on the edge of your seat.
Totally. And it's a good reminder, even in that world, corporate law, it's still about those connections, those feelings. I mean, I think that's part of what makes the show so human.
It's true. It's true. Okay, so but let's talk about Mike for a second, because I mean, his journey it's kind of crazy, right? Like he goes from like college dropout to like legal rock star, but there's a twist.
Yeah.
Of course, because it's
Suits.
Always a twist. And like what's so interesting is it's like his brilliance. It's what leads to his downfall.
It is. It's that classic, almost like Greek tragedy, like he's got this gift, but it's also this burden.
Totally.
And the show does a good job, I think, of not shying away from that.
Yeah.
Like there are consequences.
Oh.
Like it makes you think about, right and wrong and whether good intentions are actually enough.
I think the show, it's almost like it's holding up a mirror to the legal system itself, like showing us how messy it can be, how complicated it can be, and those courtroom scenes, they're just, oh, I love those.
Yeah, they're so good.
They're so good. Like there's this one where I think Harvey, he pulls this move where he calls the prosecutor as a witness.
What?
I know, right? And it's like, hold on, is that even allowed? You're on the edge of your seat, like what's gonna happen?
I know, and what I find interesting is it's almost like the show is using these moments, like these big courtroom moments, to show us how the system, it can be flawed.
Right.
Like sometimes the rules, they don't always lead to the right outcome.
That's true.
And Suits, it's showing us that. Like sometimes you gotta bend those rules, be a little bit creative, It's a tightrope walk, but it's what keeps us coming back.
So, okay, I got to bring up that Time magazine article again.
Oh, yeah? The Mad Men one?
Yeah, where they compared Suits to Mad Men. Now, on the surface, that seems kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
Like totally different shows, but there is this thread that connects them, right?
Absolutely. Like at their core, I think both shows are they're about ambition. They're about loyalty. They're about like what is the cost of success?
Yeah.
They both look at those relationships, those power dynamics, like in those pressure cooker workplaces.
Yeah.
And what it does to people. Like what sacrifices do you have to make? What compromises do you make?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a theme that it just resonates. I think it resonates with all of us, really.
Oh, yeah, I think so too. And look, even though Suits it's way lighter than Mad Men.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I think it still asks those tough questions, like how far are you willing to go to get ahead? What are you willing to give up? It's not just about winning cases.
Yeah.
It's about the choices, and the consequences that come with them.
It really is. It's about the journey, the whole journey.
Exactly.
And I think that's what makes Suits so compelling. It's not just this, legal drama. It's a reflection, I think, of all of us, of what it means to be human.
That's true.
With all of the messiness, all the complications,
with all the contradictions.
Yes, exactly, all of that, and it's all wrapped up in this entertaining package.
Oh yeah, that's the best part, right? Like it makes you think, but it's also just it's fun to watch.
Absolutely,
it's good TV.
It is. It really, really is.
Speaking of journeys, we can't forget about Rachel Zane,
Rachel,
played by Meghan Markle.
Yeah,
I mean, even though she leaves the show after season 7 to, well, I guess you could say, to pursue a different kind of legal drama.
Right.
Her character's like central to a lot of the show's themes,
Yeah.
Like evolution, ambition, all that.
I know. And her IMDb page, it's full of these little tidbits and stuff. It's really interesting to kind of go back and see like how her character starts.
Yeah.
Like in the beginning, she's so eager to kind of break into that legal world, like studying for the LSAT, working so hard to prove herself.
Totally.
And then she leaves. It's bittersweet, I think, for fans.
Huh.
But it kind of reinforces that idea of growth and change, right?
Yeah, I think it does. It's like she graduates from Suits University alongside Mike, Like they learn so much, they grow so much, and then they're ready for what's next.
I love that. Suits University. That's perfect.
Right.
And their relationship too. I mean, it's such a big part of the show, and their wedding, like it feels like this turning point for both of them. They've figured some things out, both professionally and personally,
Totally.
And Suits, it's so smart about weaving those challenges, of ambition and love, because it's real, right? Like Rachel and Mike, they have to make these tough choices. They have to compromise, support each
other's dream.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think a lot of people can relate to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, but speaking of complex relationships, we got to talk about Harvey and Louie.
Oh, Harvey and Louie.
Talk about a roller coaster. Like they are constantly, they're like butting heads all the time, competing for power, recognition.
Yeah, they're like, I don't know, it's like a legal version of King of the Hills or something.
It is.
It's amazing. But, they're both brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you can't deny that they're both incredible lawyers, but they have such different approaches.
Completely different.
Yeah. And yet under all of that, the bickering, the one-upmanship, there is this like underlying respect.
There is.
Like even moments of real friendship,
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's that push and pull that keeps us engaged.
Yes.
Like they drive each other crazy, but they need each other.
Totally.
It's like their history, their dedication to the firm, it creates this bond that you just can't break. And then those moments when they actually like put their differences aside and work together, oh man.
It's magical.
It's pure magic.
And it speaks to that thing we were talking about earlier about how the show, it gets those relationships right. Like it shows how complicated we are. We're not just one thing. We can be, ambitious and caring, competitive but supportive.
Right.
And Suits, it embraces that.
It does.
And it makes those characters, it makes them feel so real.
It does. Okay. We also have to mention the queen bee herself, Jessica Pearson.
Oh, Jessica.
Gina Torres, phenomenal.
Amazing.
Her IMDb, it might just say like managing partner.
Right.
But she's Much more than that.
She really is.
She's the anchor. She's the strategist. She's the one who holds everything together.
I know. And Jessica, she's like this study in leadership. Like she can manage all those egos, all those ambitions. She's always like one step ahead, always protecting her firm, her people.
Always.
And even when she leaves, even when she decides to, to go her own way, you can still feel her presence.
Right. Oh, yeah. And her leaving, just like Rachel leaving, it does something to the show, It
does.
It changes the dynamic. It changes the energy. It's like a changing of the guard, I guess you could say.
It is. And it's done so well. It feels natural, like, things change, people move on.
Right.
That's life,
Okay.
And I think that's another thing Suits does well. Like, it shows us that life throws you curveballs.
Yeah.
You make choices, you make mistakes, and you evolve.
You evolve, you learn.
And even though it's set in this world of, corporate law, it's really about those universal things. Ambition, love, loyalty, betrayal. Like we all experience that.
It's true. It's true. It's like you're right there with them, with the characters, going through the ups, the downs, the wins, the losses.
And it reminds you, even in that world, in Suits, it's all very, polished and perfect.
Right.
But everyone is they're just trying to figure it out, trying to find their place.
And that's human.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what connects us, I think.
I think so too. And can we talk about how stylish everything is?
Oh, the suits, come on. The offices, the fast-paced dialogue. It's like visual candy.
It is. It's so good.
It really is.
You get this mix of the drama, the relationships. It's like a fashion show all at the same time.
Yes.
It's aspirational.
Oh, totally.
Like, don't you kind of wish you could live in that world a little bit?
I know. I have to admit, those YouTube videos, the Harvey Specter being an absolute savage videos.
Oh yeah.
I'm guilty of watching those too. His wardrobe, like, it's a character in itself.
It is. It totally is. It's all about, that power, that confidence.
Yeah. And you know what? It's not just Harvey, right? Like, the show, it uses fashion to tell the story.
Oh, yeah.
Like, think about Rachel. Her style evolves as she becomes more confident and she becomes more of a lawyer.
It does. And Donna's always so chic, so sophisticated.
Always put together.
She's like the power behind the throne.
Yeah. She is. And it's like their clothes are speaking for them.
Yeah, exactly. It's another layer to the show, Yeah. It's really smart.
It's really smart. But you know what we haven't talked about yet? Something that's so important to Suits? The music.
The music.
Like, it sets the mood. It makes you feel things. It pulls you in.
It's the heartbeat of the show, isn't it?
It is. Like, you've got those like high energy tracks when Harvey's like doing his thing.
Yeah.
And then you've got the more like soulful stuff for those, those vulnerable moments.
It's like an invisible character.
It is.
Guiding you through it all, making you feel all the feels.
It's true. It's like it elevates those key scenes.
Yes.
It takes them to another level.
It does. And no surprise. I mean, the Suits soundtrack, it's so popular. People make playlists. They want to capture that vibe.
Oh, yeah.
And what I think is so cool about the music is it's like it connects with you, on this deeper level.
Yeah.
It's not just about the legal stuff, the witty banter.
Yeah.
It's about what those things represent, like the thrill of winning, the pain of, being betrayed.
The heartbreak.
Yes, exactly. And the music, it brings those emotions to life. It makes the Suits experience. It makes it so much more real.
I never thought about it that way. But you're right. It's like it closes that gap between the screen and the viewer.
Yeah, it does.
And it makes you feel like you're right there with them, with the characters going through it all.
Exactly. And that's the power of storytelling, right?
It is. Okay, yeah. So we've talked about a lot.
Right,
we talked about the characters. We talked about their relationships, those crazy legal battles, the style, the music. But I want to go back to like the bigger picture for a second.
Okay.
Like, why has Suits connected with so many people?
That's a great question.
Why do we root for these characters even when they're bending the rules, even when they're breaking the rules sometimes?
I mean, I think it's because there's a part of us maybe deep down that kind of admires that.
Yeah.
That rebel spirit, that willingness to challenge the system.
Yeah, there's that.
To kind of go against the grain. And even though, Yeah, Harvey and Mike, they sometimes, they operate in that gray area.
Oh, yeah.
Their hearts are often in the right place. They want to help people. They want to fight for what's right.
They want to outsmart the system.
Yes, and I think we're drawn to that. We're drawn to their charisma, their intelligence.
Their confidence.
Yes, and that willingness to fight for what they believe in, even if it means, pushing those boundaries a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's not just about winning at all costs, right?
No, it's not.
Like the show, it shows us the consequences too, especially with Mike.
Yeah.
He faces the music. He does when his secret gets out, and it's rough.
Yeah, it's a tough lesson, and it's interesting because it's a story about accountability, but it's also a story about redemption.
Totally.
Like it's a reminder that, even the smartest people, they make mistakes.
Yeah.
Actions have consequences.
Right.
But it also reminds us that we all deserve a second chance.
Yeah. That we all deserve a second chance.
Yeah. And Mike, he messes up. He messes up big time. But he finds a way to use his talents, his unique talents, to do good.
I think that's such a powerful message.
It is.
It really is. Like even when we stumble, even when we make those choices that we regret, there's always hope.
There is. There's always hope.
There's always a chance to grow, to change, to find a new path.
I love that.
It's a message we all need to hear.
We do.
Especially these days, right?
Right. And you know what? Suits delivers that message, but it's just so entertaining.
It's so entertaining.
Like it's that perfect mix of the drama, the witty banter.
The characters.
It just sucks you in.
It really does.
It's the total package.
Yeah.
It is. It really, really is. Okay, so we've talked about the complexity of the characters, those relationships, the drama, the style, even the music. But I want to dig a little deeper into why Suits has stuck with people for so long. Like, why do we root for these characters even when they're kind of doing shady stuff sometimes? Why do we care?
That's a good question. I think it's because deep down there's this part of us that admires people who challenge the status quo. People who think outside the box, people who aren't afraid to take risks.
I like that. It's like we all have this little rebel inside of us.
Yeah.
That kind of cheers them on.
Yeah, exactly.
Even when they're maybe not always doing the right thing.
Yeah.
But with Harvey and Mike, it's like even when they're being a little bit sneaky, their motives, they often come from this place of wanting to help, wanting to fight for what they believe is right.
Yeah, it's like they want to outsmart the system.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we connect with that. Like we all feel like the system's rigged sometimes, right?
It is. And it's not always black and white.
No, it's not.
And I think Suits, it shows us that.
It does.
Like it's not always about, being perfectly by the book.
Right. And that's what makes it so interesting, right? It's like it forces you to ask yourself those questions.
It does. It does. Like, what would you do? What would you do if you were in their shoes? Would you cross that line?
Right. It's not easy. And I think that's part of what makes Suits so thought-provoking.
It is. It's like, it's not just entertainment. It's like, it's holding up a mirror to us, to our own values.
It is. It really is. It's like, it sparks this conversation. It makes you think about your own moral compass,
It does. It does. But let's be real. It's also just a lot of fun to watch.
Oh, it is.
Like, remember that compilation we talked about, the Suits top 10 most searched for clips of all time?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's like, it's a reminder that, there's all this deep stuff,
right.
But it's also it's just fun.
It is. Those moments, those iconic moments, they're what keep us coming back.
Yeah.
And you know what? There's this one scene, I love it, where Mike, he finally owns it. He owns his brilliance, his legal skills, even though, he never went to Harvard.
Right.
And it's such a powerful moment.
Yeah.
It's like he's finally accepting himself.
Overcoming that imposter syndrome.
Yes, exactly. And it's so inspiring, like anyone who's ever felt like an outsider or doubted themselves, like that scene, it just speaks to you.
It does. And then you've got those killer one-liners.
Oh, yeah.
The zingers, like Harvey's, I don't play the odds, I play the man. Come on.
Oh, that's a good one.
Or Donna's just, I'm Donna, like a mic drop, right?
A mic drop. I mean, those lines, they're gold.
They're gold.
They're so good. And they tell you everything you need to know about those characters. Like, they're confident, they're determined, they're not messing around.
They get things done.
They do. They really do.
Yeah.
And it's not just the dialogue. It's the way it looks, too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Suits, it's just visually, it's so striking. Harvey, he's like walking through the firm like he owns the place. Donna, she's like this master negotiator.
Yeah, right.
And Mike, he's outsmarting everyone in the courtroom.
It's like those scenes, they're like little works of art.
They are. It's the writing, the visuals, the acting, it all comes together, and it's just magic.
It is. It is. And those clips, it's no wonder they're the most searched for, they grab you.
They do. They really do. And I think that's a good place to kind of wrap things up.
Yeah.
Like Suits, with its mix of humor, its drama, its characters, it's an experience.
It's an experience.
It's immersive, it's unforgettable.
Yeah, it is.
It makes you think, it makes you feel.
It makes you want to dress better.
It does. It totally does.
Right. Come on, those suits.
I know. And Suits, it challenges us. It challenges us to think about, those tough questions, to look at our own beliefs, to believe in the possibility of second chances. But it reminds us to kind of approach life with a sense of humor, a sense of confidence.
Like put on your best outfit.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to face those challenges head on.
Totally.
So to everyone listening, keep exploring the world of Suits. Go back and rewatch your favorite episodes. Dive into those fan theories.
Oh, yeah.
And just appreciate the impact it's had,
And remember, sometimes the best lessons, they come from the most unexpected places.
They do.
Like a show about a college dropout who fakes his way into a law firm.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of it, right? Like sometimes you gotta kind of escape into a different world to learn something about your own.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And we'll be here, We'll be here ready to guide you through your next deep dive.
Absolutely.
Whenever you're ready to explore something new, to learn something new.
Always up for an adventure. Until then, keep those minds sharp, those hearts open, and those watch lists full.
And never underestimate the power of a good suit.
And a well-placed one-liner.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Going back to Suits, one thing that really sticks with me is how often the characters, they kind of find themselves in this like gray area.
Oh, yeah.
Ethically, Like they're always pushing the limits, bending the rules, sometimes straight up breaking them.
Right. It's like it's part of the show's DNA, Like Suits, it doesn't shy away from those ethical dilemmas, especially in the legal world, right? Like it makes you think about, what are you willing to put up with to get justice? Like what's the line?
It's that age-old question, right? Like do you play by the rules even if it means maybe the outcome isn't fair? Or do you find a way to work the system a little bit? Right. To make sure that what you believe is right actually happens.
Exactly. And Suits, it puts those questions front and center.
It does. And what's so interesting is it doesn't give you any easy answers.
No, it doesn't.
Like the characters, they're constantly wrestling with their own moral compass.
Yeah.
Trying to balance, what they personally believe with the demands of their job.
Right.
And the consequences.
Yeah.
Right. Because every decision, every choice, it has consequences.
It does.
And I think that's what makes it so real, so relatable.
It's true. And it's like the show is asking you, the viewer, what would you do?
Mm-hmm.
What would you do if you were like in Harvey's shoes or Mike's shoes? would you cross that line, knowing what could happen?
Right. Because it's not always so simple, is it? It's not black and white.
No.
And that's what Suits does so well. It makes you think. It makes you really examine, your own beliefs.
Totally. It's like it's more than just a TV show.
It is.
It's a reflection.
It's a conversation starter.
Exactly. But also, let's be honest, Suits is it's a lot of fun.
Oh, it is. It's so much fun.
Remember that YouTube compilation, the Suits Top 10 Most Searched For Clips of All Time?
Yeah.
It's a reminder that, the show has all this depth, this moral complexity, but it's also just pure entertainment.
It is. It knows how to deliver those moments, the ones that make you cheer, the ones that make you like gasp.
The ones that make you laugh out loud.
Yes, exactly. And those moments, they're part of what makes it so addictive.
Okay, so one of my favorite scenes, I think it's in that compilation. It's when Mike, he finally owns it.
Oh, yeah.
Like he owns his brilliance, you know? He's like, "Yeah, I never went to Harvard, but I'm good at this."
Yeah.
Like he's finally confident in himself.
It's a great moment.
Yeah.
And I think it's so powerful because, anyone who's ever felt like they don't belong
Yeah.
or who struggle with self-doubt, like that scene, it just hits you.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And then you've got the one-liners.
Oh, the one-liners,
The best.
the zingers,
Yes.
like Harvey's, I don't play the odds, I play the man.
I keep
or Donna, I'm Donna.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. And it's not just the words, it's the way they deliver them.
Right. Like with such confidence, such swagger.
And it's visual too, right? Suits, it's a beautiful show to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Like Harvey, he's always striding through the halls of Pearson Hardman like he's on a mission.
Yeah. And Donna, she's always, she's always got that power stance.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike, he's always, like 10 steps ahead of everyone in the courtroom.
It's like watching these little movies,
Mm-hmm.
these perfectly crafted moments. Yeah, they really are. It's the writing, it's the visuals, it's the acting. It all just works.
It all comes together.
And it's no wonder those clips are the most searched for,
Yeah.
They're the ones that capture the heart of Suits.
They do. And you know what? I think that's a good place to wrap things up.
I think so too.
Suits with all its humor, its drama, those unforgettable characters. It's an incredible show.
It really is. It's an experience. It's a journey.
It makes you think, it makes you feel.
And hey, let's be real. It makes you want to dress a little bit better too.
Oh yeah, those suits.
I know. But Suits, it's not just about the clothes, the glamour, all that.
No.
It's about those deeper themes,
Yeah.
about challenging yourself, about believing in second chances.
Yeah.
And I think that's what stays with you.
I think you're right. So to everyone listening, we encourage you to keep diving into Suits. Go back, rewatch those favorite episodes. Maybe read some of those fan theories online. They're always fun.
They are. And just, appreciate the impact this show has had.
Mm-hmm. And remember, sometimes the best lessons, they come from the most unexpected places.
They do.
Like a show about a college dropout who cons his way into a law firm.
Right. Like Suits. Who'd have thought? But that's the power of stories, right?
It is.
They can teach us things. They can open our minds.
It can help us see the world in a different way.
Exactly. And we'll be here ready for your next deep dive.
Whenever you're ready.
Always here to explore new worlds, new ideas, new perspectives. So until then, keep those minds sharp, those hearts open, and those watch lists full.
And never forget the power of a good suit.
And a perfectly timed one-liner.
And that's a wrap. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into Suits.
It's been a pleasure. Until next time.